I forgot I had crew voices turned on. Hey everybody, welcome back. I was not expecting that. Today I am featuring Shadow Warrior 10, a X-Class member who left about a couple months ago here in his Leopard Prototype A on Westfield. Now he spawned on the south side and is going to start off in the very standard Kilo 6 spot, I believe. If I look at the minimap, let's blow that up a little bit. So the Leopard Prototype A, obviously the Tier 9 predecessor to the Leopard 1, is actually quite a nice vehicle. It's often overlooked. I personally enjoyed the vehicle. I played it half when it was at 390 alpha, and then again when it got buffed to 440, I believe. 420, as the Leopard did as well. This tank is basically everything you want in a Leopard, but at Tier 9. So it's going to suffer a little bit on gun handling. It suffers a little bit on reload, camo, everything. It's just a Tier 9 Leopard. And what it does is fantastic. It sits back, it snipes, and it doesn't take hits very well. Shadow's going to take a while and make sure he hits that shot for his first damage on the Cobra, rolling for 15 over the average of 420. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a traffic jam over here behind the hill, as there's a Patton, a UDES, and Shadow here in his Leopard Prototype A. Nobody really wanted to go to Kilo 0. They didn't really have a lot of tanks quick enough, so what looks like it's just going to happen is everybody's just going to sit back here. As long as they don't get in each other's way, it should be alright. Cobra pokes out again, and it looks like the other two tanks are going to deal with that, so Shadow instead is going to deal with that T110. I don't know why that T110 or that T10 looks like it has antlers. Probably just a replay bug. Oh wow, I don't even know what's going on there. Regardless, whatever it is, Shadow hit it. Looks like there's a little bit of a hang up here with this Patton, who really just doesn't want to get in the way. Looks like he took a couple of hits from that Cobra. Shadow's looking for a shot. That Cobra does have a great gun, sorry. The UDES brings it down to 56 health, making it a one-shot. He hits the Patton in the side, and simultaneously the T10 takes down the Patton, and the Prototype takes down the UDES. And Shadow Warrior is wasting no time at all getting the hell out of here. Obviously, this is not a tank that you want to be involved in close quarters, though we'll see if that's something he's forced to do later on in this game. So Shadow's taking the long road, cutting all the way across. One thing I should mention, just like the Leopard, this tank is quite quick as well. He's traveling in a healthy 65. I don't know what his equipment loadout is. I failed to check at the beginning, though I would presume he's probably running gun rammer, maybe a turbo, and probably vents, something of that nature. You can see he is not firing standard, and he is running a fire extinguisher instead of food. Something you don't see all that often. Maybe he's running a vent directive or something like that. Not a lot of, about 50-50 premium ammo. Well, it is 50-50 premium ammo to standard, and a couple of HE rounds. The Leopard does have decent HE rounds. 105 pen for 510 alpha, which makes it quite nice against those soft-shelled targets. Now, Shadow is going to go right back to doing what Leopards are doing, which is sitting in the back, taking advantage of other people's spots, and sniping. A lot of tanks in the game do use this mechanic, and this is a lot of the reason why we don't bring these types of vehicles very often in Clan Wars or Advances. The issue with these tanks is, while they are fantastic when it comes to sniping, I don't know what's going on with that UDES. It kind of looks like it's rocket launcher or something, but part of the reason why we don't use it is if these vehicles ever have to get into close quarters, they struggle. They don't have the armor, while they do have decent DPM, and they just can't take hits. So, and they don't have a lot of hit points. You can see, I think the Tier 10 has 1950 hit points, which does not stack up very well when you have to deal with, let's say, an IS-7 or a Chieftain. It just doesn't work. However, in the random battle setting, when you usually can get tanks out in front of you, it works out quite nicely. Shadow's already up to 1200 damage, put a decent amount of shots in there, even racked up a little bit of spotting damage, presumably from a track. Shadow's going to go low side, looking for maybe a shot on that UDES 16 on 8 hit points, but looks like that vehicle is going to stay safe and isn't going to give him anything to shoot at. Shadow's going to make his way back up the slope. This tank does have great power to weight ratio. Not that that has anything to do with him climbing, but I hadn't mentioned it prior. So T10 working up the inside there. The team is down 3 to 8. However, they're almost even on hit points. Unfortunately, it fell a little bit there, dropping down to 1,000. Progetto is up. It looks like it's just a replay bug. Team is down just 1,000 HP. Cobra's lit up there. Shadow's going to take a shot rather than going for the moving Progetto. Looks like he may have to deal with that Progetto later on. And now it's just him and the Artie standing between the caps. Cobra takes a shot. We could see that one coming. Luckily, Shadow was on full health, so it didn't do too much. They're leaving about 1,300 health, just shy over. Now Shadow's going to work back up, easily trying to get out of there. There's a Cobra, the Leopard. It looks like another vehicle there starting with a C, maybe the Char, an E50, Progetto, and a Udez all coming this way. And Shadow is not going to be able to handle that by himself. So the 277 recognizes the issue and starts coming down to about Delta 1, Echo 1, and he's going to hang out there. Shadow gets caught out in a very ugly position here. This is incredibly dangerous. The enemies have pushed up down the 4-5. You can see a shell impacting the ground, getting hit by the E50 for 142. Not sure what gun that E50 is running. Maybe a 90 mil of sorts or a 75 mil. Maybe he's running the long 75 from the Panther 2. Or from the Panther even, not quite sure. But luckily he didn't get hit for 390 as most E50s would. The Artie gets a nice hit on that Progetto, knocking him down to just a touch over half health. And now Shadow is going to assist some tier 10s here, the JP, who finishes off the T95 with the vehicles on this side of the map on the Alpha Bravo line. Looks like they took out one of the T95s, one still left, who looks like he's still in that same position, and Shadow's just going to try and cover the top side. They've cut the tank deficit from 5 to 4, however, they're down about 2,000 hit points. So definitely going to be a difficult situation. The JP is quite a sluggish vehicle, the 277 doesn't have a lot of health, the AMX is pinned down by the T95, and the enemies are capping. So Shadow is the only one left who is really in any sort of position to make any moves here. And he's going to start making his way down the middle into the city. Obviously, he knows that the cap is threatened, and so he's trying to get a crossfire here to be able to effectively take out that cap. Spots the Leopard prototype, who decided to make his way up the middle. They're going to trade blows there. Luckily, that Leopard prototype 8 low-rolled. That may come in handy later. And bringing their Leopard down to a one-shot. That Leopard, Frog Guts, is going to back off. Fortunately, too late for him. Shadow's about to take the shot, but the AMX finishes it off. At the same time, the 277 finishes off the Cobra, cutting the deficit down to 1,200 hit points and 2 vehicles. Great little comeback there, though the game is not over. They've got an enemy on the cap circle. They've got the Progetto coming underneath, and that E50, as well as a second Cobra and the Udez. And let's not forget the Artie, who could become a problem for some of the larger vehicles on Shadow's team here. There's the Cobra. Shadow is going to come up, and instead of dealing with the cap circle, this will be a controversial decision, though I think he made the right call. He's going to blind fire. He's trying to help out his team here by making sure that they can progress down the cap circle without having to deal with that Cobra. Obviously, the 277 isn't going to be able to take a hit from him. So Shadow's going to move up further, spotting the Cobra again. He's going to hold his shot here because the E50 is crossing in front. When the E50 clears, takes the shot, caps down to 33 seconds. The E50 bounces him. He's definitely running some sort of gun there, hitting for 135. That has to be the gun on the Panther. Now the cap's down to 23, 22, 21, 20 seconds, and Shadow has to finish this cap off. He's going to spot the Udez, who knows he got lit, moves out of the way. It looks like that Udez was upside down somehow, at least from the silhouette there, and that secures the cap from. However, the team is now down 2,200, and here comes the Progetto, who's looking to finish off Shadow Warrior. Here we can see the tree fall. One shot into the Progetto. Obviously, that tank is a tier 10 with a 4-round autoloader, hitting for 390 on each shot. And Shadow Warrior is going to have a very difficult task here. He doesn't have a lot of help. Looks like the AMX is coming over the top. Bounces the Progetto, unfortunately. Progetto hits for 400. Hits again. Now Shadow's just managing to use the corpse of this T54 here. 390, and he's on 1 hit point. Fantastic job for him being able to stay alive there. Great work using that vehicle to make it difficult for the Progetta to hit him, allowing the AMX to come around underneath and assist. And Shadow Warrior lives for a little bit longer in this battle. We'll see if he survives the whole thing. Obviously on 1 hit point. So this goes back to another very crucial point, especially in competitive play, is that Shadow Warrior is on 1 health here. But he could be on full health and his tank would still do the same amount of damage. So this is an important lesson, is that he did everything he could to conserve his HP. He did take a couple of unnecessary hits. He got caught in a couple of bad situations, but ultimately he has still survived thanks to skill and a little bit of luck. And now he is going to be able to assist killing that very dangerous artillery and tank destroyer. The JP can't take a hit. None of these tanks can take a hit, actually, from pretty much any of these vehicles. The AMX may be able to take a hit from the Arty. You should be able to. Fortunately, it's a slow vehicle, it's a heavy, it's quite large, it doesn't have camo rating, and that T95 will easily spot it before he does. Shadow Warrior, with the remaining 4 minutes of the battle, is going to start working down the 0 line. You can see that the JP has good coverage. He does not want to go down the Alpha line. The T95 is just going to sit there waiting for him. And now Shadow Warrior is just looking to spot. We can see here from the white and green line that he does have max view range. I don't know how far over his view range is. Over max to diminish the enemy's camo value. But right now, he's just hunting. Where is the Arty? And there's the T95. Not sure who spotted him. My guess would be the JP. Looking for a shot. The JP turns to... the T95 turns to deal with the JP. And that gives Shadow a very clear shot. The M53 finishes off the JP. Shadow's going to put one more 453. Nice high rolls there. Where is the T95 going? I'm surprised he isn't turning. And he's looking for a shot at the M4. Unfortunately, the awesome rate of fire of this Leopard Prototype A is able to finish that off, just leaving the Arty against Shadow Warrior and the AMX M4. You can see they've just platooned up now. As long as both of them don't die, or as long as either of them don't die, and they win the game, they'll pick up the Brothers in Arms medal. There's the Arty. There's one shot, 369. What an unfortunate low roll. That AMX has a turret. Will he be able to finish off the M53-55? M53 is just waiting for him to go around that corner. Shadow's backing off from the building to break the 50-meter contact. The AMX and Shadow are communicating, which is fantastic. Looks like the AMX is going to go in and handle that M53. But we'll take a look here. Shadow's going to rotate around, avoid knocking down the tree. And great job there. I loved at the end Shadow Warrior not risking his vehicle, allowing the AMX to kill that M53-55 and making sure they secure the win. Shadow Warrior could have gotten greedy, tried to just poke out anyway, secure the kill, and risk getting killed by that Arty and then allowing the Arty to escape and maybe set up an ambush on the M54, but instead he backed off, allowed the heavy tank, who could most likely take the hit, to rotate around and finish that off. Fantastic job throughout the whole game, keeping his hit points and just making team plays there. He worked up the middle, or he worked out to the kilo line, assisting those tanks, only fell back when there was no way he was going to win it. Assisted with the north, even though they were able to handle it. Worked out, assisted the tanks who rotated back, assisted by taking out the cap circle. Worked on coming back down and killing the Progetto, working up on the top, spotting and helping out the Jagdpanzer E100 and the AMX, and then also being a team player, killing the M53-55 there and not risking his vehicle. Shadow has always been a team player from when he was in class, and it looks like nothing has changed. So let's take a look at the post game. Shadow Warrior finishing with a first-class mastery badge. Hand of God. I mean, he finished with 1 hit point. Duelist. Fighter for his 4 kills. Fire for effect, obviously for doing more damage than the hit points of his vehicle. His Brothers in Arms for him platooning with that player at the very end. Defender. And Tank Sniper. As it is a Leo. Fantastic result there. Getting 5,439 damage. Finishing top of his team on, actually not top of his team on XP, second top and second top on damage, 1239 XP. And obviously minimal damage blocked, all against that E50M. A lot of things went right for Shadow here. If that E50 had been using that top gun, this would have been a different result. 86 of those base defense points. He drove, I'd like to point this out, normally I don't go over this, 5.19 kilometers driven. Not very common in a lot of vehicles, even light tanks. That's quite a long way to go. Fired 18, hit 17, pen 16. Great percentage there. Despite his premium consumable, his fire extinguisher, and his repair kit, he made 50,000 credits. Obviously, he got some personal mission payouts, but great result there. And with that times 5, I believe, 7,436 XP. That should really help his crew out. So, thank you so much for watching this, and I will catch you all in the next one. Nice job, Shadow. Bye.